Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and this is Allied.
Hey, what happened to my kiss?
Robert Zemeckis' newest movie Allied is an old-fashioned World War II thriller/melodrama. Maybe it's not quite the emotional epic it's striving to be, but I thought it was a well-made, suspenseful movie with a lot of charm. It starts as a combination of Inglourious Basterds and Casablanca. We actually start in Casablanca with Brad Pitt's character Max von Thorn landing in the desert near the town. The year is 1942 and Pitt plays an intelligence officer who has to go on a deadly mission behind enemy lines. The first spoken words after already quite some time into the movie are the few information pieces he and we as the audience learn about his mission. He has to contact an undercover female French resistance fighter, Marion, played by Marion Cotillard. The first third of the movie takes place in Casablanca and I think this was the part I liked most. Zemeckis creates some beautiful scenes, like I said, very old-fashioned war spy thriller-like. You can join Pitt when he's sitting on the rooftops of Casablanca at night, getting to know Marion, while everywhere around him could be death. After the long introduction, the real setup of the movie gets apparent. Back in London, and now married, Pitt's superiors inform him they have reason to believe his wife Marion is a double agent, working for the Nazis. Allied succeeds in creating moments of suspense. The way it is shot works perfectly in the old Hollywood style of storytelling, with the camera highlighting everything that's important for the narrative. It definitely has a nice flow to it, and even when the story drags just a little bit in the middle section, it's still crafted very well. Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard are both great actors and their performances are quite good. Brad Pitt was way more nuanced in his way of acting than I expected. But yet their chemistry isn't quite on the level necessary to make Allied a really heartfelt melodrama. The way the characters fell in love still had that element of just playing the emotions rather than bringing them realistically across. And I don't mean that the actors played, but I was still under the notion those spies were pretending something when they were actually really in love already. But the ending and Pitt's drive in the second half still got to me and I found it to be quite cathartic. It's also always a pleasure to see Brad Pitt kill some Nazis, a role he seems really embracing since Inglourious Basterds. He was killing Nazis in Fury and he's killing Nazis in Allied, and in a fashion that's quite brutal and passionate.
Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps, and I want my scalps.
The movie is still more a melodrama than a war thriller, but those brutal moments work quite well because the movie has that overall dime novel flavor to it. Well, there was one element that goes along that impression, but that was a little bit too silly for me. Pitt's superiors make clear to him that should his wife be revealed to be a double agent, the law has him to kill her by his own hands. What?
It's insane.
If you are right, all this will be forgotten. But if she is,
You will execute her with your own hand, and if you do not comply, you'll be hanged.
Really? I mean, if a historian is watching, please tell me if there really was something like this in war times. I can't imagine, as it sounds totally silly. Yeah, sure, we could interrogate a top-tier enemy spy, we could use her for a prisoner exchange, or we just kill her on the spot and it must be carried out by the one who loves her. Come on. Another thing that irritated me was that Pitt's character has a sister who is openly gay. She's in the military and everybody seems to be fine with it. For a movie that was very much a World War II period piece, I thought it was somewhat baffling. Again, if a historian is watching, please tell me if this was okay in the UK in the 1940s. I really can't believe it when a war hero like Alan Turing had to hide his homosexuality and was later even prosecuted for it and chemically castrated. Were only male homosexuals mistreated? I don't know, but if you haven't watched The Imitation Game, go check it out, it's a very powerful movie. But back to Allied and to the final conclusion. Despite its flaws, I really enjoyed it. Maybe I'm just a sucker for Robert Zemeckis' traditional style of storytelling. From the acting, cinematography, to the music and the way he creates many suspenseful moments, I thought Allied was a well-made movie. The thriller parts work better than the melodrama, and there are some blind spots with the overall story, but I still liked how it ended, and therefore I give it a 7 out of 10. Oh, and when the credits roll in the end, please tell me, weren't those the biggest credits you've ever seen?
Is this a game?
A test.
Alright, that's it. Like always, comment below, let me know what you think about Allied. And also the question of today is, what were the biggest credits you've ever seen? Okay, I'm just kidding. What's your favorite movie by Robert Zemeckis? I think mine is still the first Back to the Future, but a close second must be Forrest Gump. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.